You're listening to Just My Show, your number one source for pop culture.
Let's talk about Slide Huxtable. I just like saying Slide Huxtable. It's a great name. And you, of course, were nominated for an Emmy for the part. So Slide Huxtable, legendary trombone player, Hillman grad, grandfather, great guy, except maybe when he's playing Pinochle. Did any of your real personality or interests sort of seep into the character over the years, or did it all come right off the page from the writers?
No, I use a great deal, as I still do when I'm playing elderly men, of my father, his manner of speech, his way of walking, expressions, facial expressions, a great deal I use from my father. And I did as Mr. Huxtable, too, Russell Huxtable. And, well, of course, the rest was my imagination. And even more importantly, what I had seen and experienced all my life was so many black men who were fathers and grandfathers, and, you know, what they went through, and their manner of, again, speech, movement, walking, all of that. And all of them had this great sense of humor anyway. At least most of them impressed me, because if they didn't have a sense of humor, they were in for a tough life. But I fortunately knew many, some of them, not only my father, but my grandfather, and the people in the community, men that I looked up to and admired. And I used them too, so there it is.
Lots of times, you know, when someone's a recurring character in a show, they just sort of show up and sneak out and don't have major parts in the plot. But you had oftentimes very big, parts in the storyline. You know, you trying to convince Denise to go to Hillman. I just saw the other night the great episode where you're playing Pinochle and you're using all kinds of signals and trying to cheat a little bit. But I have to guess, if I had to guess, the one episode or the one or two episodes that people come up and talk to you about the most, I have to imagine the anniversary episodes when the whole family was lip-syncing to you and your wife sitting there by the stairs. Is that right? Is that the one that people talk about? And is there anything in particular you remember from that?
That's the one episode that was the most, it was the most seen. And then when they, would repeat it again, and people just loved it. It just shot off the charts. There were more people watching that show than, if I were acting, I don't know how many years I'd have to act to come up to that number, to be seen by 60 million people. It was extraordinary. And somehow there was an atmosphere about it. It was my anniversary. In the show with Clarice Taylor, wonderful Anna, played my wife. And we just had a ball. And there was an atmosphere of it went over into a kind of reality. We were no longer Clarice and Earle, but we were really Anna and Russell Huxtable. It was just wonderful. And the rest of the cast, Keisha singing that, lip-syncing that fabulous song. Oh, God, it was just too wonderful. Truly wonderful. We had a ball.
For more, go to www.justmyshow.com.